What's up, everybody? Rob Nakamura, and I'm here with the High Chief, Zac Pauga. Together, we're fully hydrated, and man, we're just gonna get right into our first segment, the Pump and Dump, where we look at the most recent UFC event, which is UFC Rio. Give some love, give some admonishment, and folks, comment, share, like, let us know what you were feeling, what you weren't feeling. No wrong answers here. We don't tell each other our picks beforehand, so we find out all together, and Zach gets to pick what we're doing.
So I'm pumping first. Similar to last week's card, there's a lot of pumpable performances, a lot of love to give, and hopefully we get through all of them between the two of us. But I have to go with Charles Oliveira. Not only a great performance, finished a game fighter. So the first thing is coming from that knockout, and it's not his first loss, it's not even his first KO loss. But speaking from experience, dude, when you get your lights put out, it's like you come back a little gun shy. You come back like anything that touches me going to do that. Like, what's going to make that happen again? Or at least I did, right? It took me, I'm just getting over it. I had a KO loss, my first loss, and my 8th pro fight, and like I'm just now getting over it 17 pro fights in. And he like disrespected Gamrot. Just walked straight at him, said, throw all your punches. And I've never seen a fighter do this before. He sold his nickname, right? You saw the Predator thing before for the movie. Genius. I've never seen a fighter like do that marketing to sell to a movie or a corporation, anything, their fight name. And that's genius.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was at first a hater. Why'd you change your name now? That's corny as hell. That was my first response. And then I was like, oh, wait, you got money on it? Changes my whole opinion.
Yeah.
And same thing like you. I've never heard of that being a thing. Can I also just point out, this is 2 weeks in a row where uncharacteristically you go for the easy target in the main event. So good for you. Don't have anything negative to say about that performance. I agree with everything you said. I just want to also give an assist to the crowd barrier that injured Gamrot. No, he didn't injure him. I'm just making up crap. But dude, Gamrot running into the barrier and showing negative points on the agility scale, putting bets like we got this, dude.
I've always wanted to do that, but when you walk to the cage, for the people that don't know this, when you walk to the cage, that's the first time you ever do it. You don't know where the zigs and the zags are. You don't know where you're supposed to get your grease put on. When Gamrot took off, he was running blind. He was figuring it out as he went, and as we saw, that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah, in that moment too, because they have the lighting dimmed down and focus on you and fans and other stuff going on. Yeah, wild choice. Everybody wants to be Ultimate Warrior, but not everybody can be the Ultimate Warrior. You got to be of a certain age to know that reference. So with you on that pump, dude, I'm going to toot my own horn. I was all about Vitor Petrino. I said Vitor 2.0 last show, and it was going not great. And then he turned it around, and he gave us a knockout, a meme-worthy knockout, where his opponent Peterson folded in an awkward way. We were all doing the Mike Tyson spinal joke. Like, how did he get knocked out? It was great. But the point is, I was starting to check out. Damn it, like, I made a bad choice. I told everybody, like, this is the fight you don't want to miss, and this is a miss-worthy fight. And no, it wasn't. It turned around, and it came true, so that's my pump.
Yeah, good pump. And that's the heavyweight division. Like, we got to see the positives and the negatives of the heavyweight division there. They don't have a lot of gas. They don't have a whole lot of juice. But they don't need a whole lot of juice. They just need that one little shot and to put you out. Like, that was Peterson's second bad. People lose, people get TKO'd. But when you're going to sleep, when he fought, I think it was Acosta, he went to, like, sleep, not being able to stand up there when the hands get raised. That's bad. And for him, I hope that he figures that out or, gets ahead of it and doesn't just end up getting forced out of the sport instead of making a choice himself.
Hey, you know what? Much respect to that. Much respect to his health and the good stuff. I also have another one I have to throw in there. We're only supposed to pick one, but I have to go and break the rules because this one was so sweet and made me feel like the fight gods were throwing this right in my face right away. Because last week I went on and on about the really fast armbar from Yusuf Zalal. I was like, oh, you never see this. This is awesome. Like, it's a dying submission. You never really get to see it. And many people agreed because it's true. Thank you for your backup on that topic. But then fight one, right out of the gate, armbar. And I felt like the fight gods got together just to laugh at me. I guess the armbar's back, bro. I guess it's back.
So, dude, I don't know if it's because it was in Brazil and there was a bunch of Brazilians, or if we're just starting to have a shift in the fight game. I'm a current MMA fighter. My opinion and advice to anyone is throw bottom game submissions out. Get up off the bottom, ground and pound on top, have a top game submission. Don't arm bars, Kimuras from bottom, throw them all out. That's my opinion, and I believe it's pretty well supported, but it's been getting thrown in my face here the last 2 weeks.
Hey, you know what? When it works, it works. Good things are good things when they work, and they seem like bad ideas when they don't work. But we got some people who did some bad ideas, and that's why we're entering the dump portion of this segment. What you got?
So my dump hurts me, and my dump is Sinte Luque. And when we did our picks last week, I picked Luque, and you were like, "Dude, he's got a lot of miles on there." I'm going, "No, what are you talking about? That's Vincente Luque. Like, what are you talking about?" And I don't care if you win or lose. Everyone in this game loses sometimes. But he looked like he didn't even want to be in there. Like his coaches had to talk him in. I don't know if this is a positive or negative on Henry Hooft. Hooft is like talking him to go back out there in the second round. And I'm like, dude, your guy doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to be in there. Don't convince him to go back out there. Luca, you've given us so much. You've given us so many great fights. A warrior. If you don't want to do this, don't do it.
Yeah, I sincerely back you up on that. Nobody should really be forced into doing anything that you just not game for anymore, especially in sports, most importantly in combat sports where the risk is what it is and the history that he has, right? He's already had one, medical issue, a brain bleed, I believe it was. I hope you're doing that for you type of choice, not because of any external say-so or whatever, and not trying to cross-pollinate sports or comparisons, but we just had a mid-season NFL retirement. Sometimes you got to be shoveling the shit to decide you don't want to shovel shit no more. Yeah, maybe the coach was trying to do by the playbook right thing to do as a coach, get the horse going, so to speak, but maybe in this time off and his healing, if he chooses not to, I'm fine with it because, like you said, he's already given us so much. I just kept going back to my original feeling that I kept thinking about how much different or better quality would this fight be if it was against Ponzinibbio. Like, if it was two veterans, would Luque look so bad? Because we know he's not bad, but would he look this bad against someone of his peer class, if you will? That left a lot of hard-to-digest moments, bro. I fully agree with you there. I'm going to throw up my dump, and it's someone who missed by 8 pounds. If you guys don't know the story, Simon Oliveira. The card starts and ended with an Oliveira missing by 8 pounds and then getting your ass whooped is really sad. I don't even care that you lost. It's kind of like poetic justice. It just seems like too often it was like these lower, and respectfully, these lower paid guys, these lower tier guys are just, it's almost like the weight limit is a speed limit where you're like, I'm good for like 5 or 8 over. I'm not going to get a ticket for 5 or 8 over. No, this is not speeding on the highway. This is the sport, and it's a contract. You probably have way more feelings because you actually have had to make the weight barrier before.
So, we've ranted about this multiple weeks in a row, and I feel like the culture is changing. And again, I'm not that old of a fighter. When I first started, guys, people did not miss weight. People didn't miss weight. Now we got to miss every weekend. We got guys missing by 8 pounds. Like, that means you didn't even try. That means you didn't even sweat. I don't know what this culture is or what's happening in the fight sports where dudes are just like, yeah, I'm not even going to try and make weight. And there are guys, I know there are guys that would die to be in the UFC right now. That would kill to be in the UFC. And you got guys like Oliveira who are going to totally blow weight, embarrass themselves, and then go out and fight like garbage. It's such a weird path the UFC's going down right now, where they just need expendable people. They need people that are going to show up, get medicals done, and make it happen. We're just going to cut this guy anyway. We just need him to show up because he signed the contract.
Damn, that's a cold-blooded, real take. I never even considered that. I was kind of going in a slightly different train of thought of, dude's lucky that it was in Brazil. I'm pretty sure. Help me out. Would they wouldn't let that fly in? Like, you wouldn't be able to fight in the U.S., right?
No, you have to be within 10% of each other. So like Vegas definitely wouldn't let this happen. But I've seen it when I fought in Detroit, that some dude missed weight by like 7 pounds, welterweight. And so the guy his opponent, the guy who didn't miss weight, had to drink water to get up to like 174 so that they could still fight, because they couldn't fight if he was 170 and the other guy was 177.
Well, one, thank you for that extra knowledge. I didn't know that exact criteria. And I got another one that I knew to bring up. This is partially on the fighter, but not really, because I kind of respect that people got to go out there and you got to make a check. So Lucas Almeida, he blew up the internet for all the wrong reasons the day before the fight, because anybody with even one working eyeball could see he had a broken hand. It was swollen. Like, he got attacked by a whole hive of bees just on his right hand. He can subterfuge. You can, maybe you can bullshit your way through it. We've seen it happen. But when it's on display and the whole world knows it, to walk into it is like a automatic death sentence or something, man.
Yeah, man. There's two things I want to talk about. There's the fan perspective, and then there's the UFC perspective. The fan perspective, if you don't want to see this, you got to be okay with guys pulling out for injuries. If you don't want to hear about Ankalaev whining about his broken rib, you got to be okay with him breaking his rib and saying, can't take this fight. That's step number one. Is you can't be calling guys ducks. You can't be making fun of guys who hurt themselves in camp and pull out of fights. The second piece, Santos, who was talking about her opponent missing weight, and the UFC like letting her know, hey, like, you don't have to take this fight, but it's going to be bad for you if you don't. I think that this is happening. They are letting it be known that if you don't fight, you're on a short list. You're on the chopping block. That they want people that are going to fight. And we saw the conversation between Hunter and Aljamain Sterling when he wanted to pull out of his fight with O'Malley, when he was having back problems, wanted to pull out of it. And Hunter goes in there and talks him not to pull out of the fight. If you guys really care, then don't hate on fighters that pull out of fights for injuries. Because nobody cares is the message that's being sent by the UFC, by the fans, by everything else. Nobody cares.
Yeah, and you know what? That's shitty that message is so loud and clear, because I know that message is not 100% true, at least from the fan side. We would much rather see a competitive fight. I would have much rather seen Lucas in a competitive fight, win or lose or whatever, versus watching him get fed to the proverbial lion, if you will. Just like, that was just watching like an inevitable car crash, and it wasn't really any fun to see, to be honest. It was a KO, and that's cool, but like, I knew I was watching an injured one-handed man get KO'd, so it took the fun out of it. So, yeah. And to back you up with the Santos thing, with Macy missing weight, like, the UFC, bro, what the fuck? You're pressuring the wrong person. You should be telling the people that are missing weight, hey, keep missing weight and see what happens. We'll freeze your contract. We'll just let you sit on the bench. I'll just hold your contract hostage. I'll offer you one fight in a whole calendar year to the contract rules. You'll be poor. Like, I'll do that to you. That's even worse. So, I don't know. Like, punishing the wrong people in multiple scenarios, it makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. Any other thoughts? Because I broke a lot of rules, man. I threw a lot of extra pump and dumps, and I know you had a couple other you wanted to throw in there.
I'm going to sneak one in. I was out there. But Mosquita, the female fighter, look good. It was so amazing to see a jiu-jitsu specialist in her first UFC fight understand the game that I preach, right? The jiu-jitsu is cool. It's great. And she got the sub. But you don't start with the sub. You don't just start jumping on chokes, rolling around, trying to catch somebody. No, you take somebody down and you beat the dog shit out of them until they want to quit. They'll tap to anything at that point, and then you slap on whatever sub you want. And that was so refreshing to see. It's the best of both worlds. She got the win, she got the finish, and it was super entertaining to see. She is going to be a star in that division.
Yeah, she looks like she has a lot of tools, skills, and ability to be very entertaining and be very successful. Side note on that, save any celebratory dancing for after the fight to her opponent, the Russia Ronda. Like, don't twerking before the fight, bad choice, and it caught up to you. Folks, you went the distance with us, and we thank you. Subscribe, like, you know the drill and all the stuff YouTubers say, but mainly appreciate you for watching, sharing your time with us. It's been a good time. We'll see you next time. But in the meantime, stay fully hydrated. All right.